Hello, hello, JJ DiGeronimo here, and I am super excited to do our episode number 4 of Roots, Remedies, and Ancient Wisdom with my dear friend Sharon Ashcraft.
Hi.
She is just a healer in everything that she does. She uses nature and Mother Nature and natural herbs and roots to really protect our system, raise our frequency, and create energy from within. And I'm so honored that she's joining me for this series because I feel like I'm learning right alongside with you. So today's episode is immune system strategies. We thought this would be a great time to talk about how to keep your immune system in check and even give yourself another layer of protection with so much that's going around in the world. There's a lot of things that you can do right from the comfort of your own home to protect yourself. So Sharon, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we could just talk forever. So I always try to contain us into a small amount of time. And you're always like, there's so many things we can talk about. So many of the things that we're going to share and some of Sharon's favorites are below. So if you're looking for specific links, please feel free to jump down and check those out. But Sharon, for somebody who just wants to do a 101 version of immune system strategies, what are some things they could do throughout their day that would really help them enhance or protect their immune system?
Well, without even getting into the supplements, just to say what we can do to keep ourselves healthy, there's a few basic things. First, I want to mention something, and we definitely want to talk about this in one of our future sessions, and that is we want to keep our microbiome healthy because our microbiome is responsible for 75 to 85% of our immune system. So if that is in good shape, we'll be in good shape. So little things that we can do that
I have a question already. You haven't even started yet, but what, just so that we know, what is microbiome?
microbiome is our
Biome.
is like the city of our gut. So it's our gut, our stomach, it's our intestines. So if we have good flora there, good and bad, it needs to be like a healthy mix. We will have a healthy immune system. If we have bad flora, that invites in disease and all kinds of different problems. And it's very, very easy to get it back into the good zone, but it requires a little bit of effort if you've kind of fallen off the spectrum and you have abused your microbiome. But some very basic things that people can do are to make sure that they stay hydrated. Such an easy thing, but very, very important for our cell rejuvenation. Also, proper amount of sleep. And that varies for every individual. Some people are really comfortable at 6 hours. Some people need 8. So, wherever your comfort zone is, say 7 hours, make sure we do that, because if we go night after night after night and we're depriving our body of proper sleep, it's definitely going to affect our health. It's going to start wearing down our immune system. Also, want to be careful about how much sugar we eat, because sugar is known to tear down our immune system. It doesn't allow the white blood cells to work properly in our system. So we want to make sure that we're not going on binges of too much sugar. It's also just not good for our health. But those are kind of basic things to keep in mind. We also want to eat a healthy diet, lots of good nutrients with antioxidants. So, incorporating those little basic things. If you want to go on into the addition of some supplements, do you want me to go ahead with that?
Well, I think this is just a good reminder for everybody that like what you put into your body and how you treat your body is often how it responds. And so with so
Absolutely.
many people being sick right now, I mean, oh my goodness, so many people are sick. And then we have all this stuff happening where, other things are happening in the world right now. So yeah, so the basics, we got that covered, like water, sleep, taking care of your stomach, making sure that you are getting enough water and great food, a lot of natural, healthy food, as we talked about in the previous episode. Definitely organic is really important. So we're doing all those things. And now we want to layer on some supplements. So I know you could talk about a lot, but maybe we'll layer it. Like, what is the first round of just easy does it? Let's get into these. And then maybe we'll go into something a little bit like almost like um 301 classes.
Okay. Well, My favorite one to take, and I love to take this, I take it every single day, is something called Camu Camu. It's an Amazon berry, and it is the highest, contains the highest amount of vitamin C in the world. So if you're looking for vitamin C and you don't know what vitamin C supplement to get, if you get some Camu Camu powder, you're going to be all set. I mean, it's like 86%, the berry is 86% straight vitamin C. So it's an antioxidant. It's really high in flavonoids. It really helps boost our immune system, but it also does other things like helps with lowering blood pressure. It helps with your cholesterol levels. So, and your heart, very good for your heart. So it gives you a lot of different things, and it's inexpensive. And being in the powder form, you can throw it in a smoothie. It's not real bitter, so you can actually just put it in water, with a shaker and drink it. Whatever would work for you.
And you take that every day, regardless of the season.
Yes, I take that every day because it's going to help, like I said, with maintenance with the heart, with cholesterol, with a lot of different things. Plus, it helps work in the microbiome. So it's something that would be similar if somebody decided they wanted to take just regular vitamin C every day. That would be your highest and best form that you could possibly take.
I love that. And the links below, so we know exactly which one you take. I love that. All right, moving on.
Okay, so another really good one that a lot of people started taking during COVID was zinc. That's I take a liquid zinc, but you can take lots of different types. I also keep liquid lozenges. I mean, zinc lozenges on hand. They contain. I'm pretty sure we have the link for that one. They contain. That one has like 23 milligrams of vitamin C in it. So you're getting a little bit of C and you're getting the zinc. And an important thing to remember about the zinc is that you don't want to take too much. Once you hit 100 milligrams a day, if you take more than that, it will start reversing your immune system. So it'll work against you. So you want to make sure, like if you're taking a multivitamin, zinc is usually not a really high number in a multivitamin, but you still always want to factor that in. And for instance, the zinc lozenges taste really good, and they, like I said, have a high enough amount of zinc that you can't take more than like 4 a day. So you want to be careful because you could eat them kind of like candy. They taste good, but just be careful. And that's a really good one. Elderberry, that was another one that we mentioned. At black elderberry, very important. That one is really good for respiratory. So if a person's got like bronchitis or really bad cold and it's settled into their chest, that's a really good one. And I actually know a lot of people who start taking that. They start taking it at Halloween so that they remember every year. They at the end in the fall, and they take it until the end of March. That way, it protects them during that buffer period where people are coming down with all types of germs and sicknesses, and gives them like an extra protection. And it's also been proven in studies to kill the what is it, H1N1 virus. So it's a really good one if you're looking for something that tastes good. You can get it in gummies, you can get it in capsules, but I try to take, and we mentioned this before, liquid if possible, because you're going to get the fastest delivery, quickest absorption in your system. And if you go to a gummy, you're going to be adding too much sugar and just not as beneficial to your body.
That makes sense because that was my question. I have I think it's the Garden of Life gummies.
Yeah, I mean, certain companies, a Garden of Life does, they're going to be an exception because they, along with a company called Nordic Naturals, has formulated a type of gummy that's not the sugar base like a regular gummy would be. So if you are going to take a gummy, you'd need to know a company that would be good. Your basic run-of-the-mill gummies are more sugar than anything and less vitamin.
So helpful. I've called Sharon from the vitamin store and I'm like, this or this or this. And I feel like we talked about last time, there's just so many options. So the fact that you provide the links below that people can click on and get, a really good product is super important. Now I've heard that garlic is actually helpful. Is that true?
Very helpful. People that incorporate garlic into their diet, even, just raw garlic or cooking with garlic, often find, their immune system is boosted even in that means. But if not, definitely taking a garlic capsule is great. It is antibacterial. It's really high in antioxidant properties, antibacterial properties. So that would be a really good one. Either, like I said, to use your garlic cloves as much as possible in making dishes, but also it is something. It actually helps in wound healing and things too. So it's a really good basic one to keep in the house, cooking or adding it into your vitamin regimen.
Good. That's good. And I remember, yeah, so all of these are pretty easy to do. Everything that you've spoke of thus far, I think are pretty easy to do. The links are below. And I feel like, take care of yourself and then you can add this level of just additions into your day. None of these seem difficult to add.
No, they're not. They're all very easy. Like I said, especially with the garlic one that you mentioned, because that's something you can cook with. And people love the taste of garlic. You can add it to anything, and you're going to be getting that basic property from it. But then
Yes.
there's other levels of layers of extra protection. So there's lots of products out there that you can use that will help enhance your immune system.
Mm. My parents are older too, and I love, obviously they do some of these already, but my dad and my mom, but mostly my dad gets sick a lot. So is there any really high powered, if you're sick, high powered things that you can take that will really help like when you're in it?
Um, I like taking medicinal mushrooms because they contain beta glucans, and that beta glucans are known to help, cut the period of time of sickness, lessen it, and also the way it hunts out free radicals, and they have all types of immune boosting properties within them. So that's, you can get a basic reishi, or you can take something that has a combination of different mushrooms, all good. I don't know if we've put a link in there, but we can add one in. But mushrooms are definitely one choice. And another one that comes to mind, a stronger one that's been used successfully even in cancer treatments for the immune system, is cat's claw. Una de gato. It could be either one. It could be called that. I know it's a funny one, but as a matter of fact, the very first time I ever heard it, someone came into a health food store and they were trying to explain to the customer service person that was waiting on them what they wanted, and they couldn't understand them. There was a language barrier. And so she started going like this and saying, "Meow, meow." And then I happened to be walking by and I said, "She wants cat's claw." And then we all kind of chuckled, and she was like nodding yes, because it has wonderful properties, again, that will help in reducing the amount of sickness time, and also very, very strong immune booster and healer.
That's interesting because when you sent those over some of the links, I was like, cat's claw, is that a real thing?
It is. A lot of these different herbs come from the Amazon, from tropical areas. So, you'll see different things. There's one called Pau d'Arco. We don't have that one in the link, but that's something that's also known as Tahibo tea. These all are very, very strong healing property herbs. And again, most of these come from South America, from, the different other countries. And we don't have them here. We don't grow them here. Well, if we do, they're not the same.
Sure, sure. Well, when I was, gosh, probably in my 20s, when you were working with different cancer patients to help them with natural remedies, uh, in combination with some of the chemo they were doing, or maybe they were done with chemo, but you would always mention
Like
IP6, is that right?
IP6.
IP6.
Yes, the trademark name is Cell Forte. It was invented by a doctor. But it's IP6 inositol, and it is definitely something that I know personally has helped many people with cancer. And it is another layer. So, an extra heavy duty protection if you want that. I actually throw a little scoop or a half a scoop in my drink in the morning just during the winter time, just because I'm out and about like you, like everyone, and we don't know what germs we're crossing. We could touch something at the grocery store, we touch someone's monitor or computer, it doesn't matter. That germ could have already been there before the person shows symptoms of sickness, and then we touch it and pick it up. So I try to layer myself, barricade the germs from getting in. So I do use IP6 and inositol during the winter time, just a little bit. You wouldn't actually need to take the full dose. And also, I would suggest, again, taking the powder form because it's the second best to the liquid because you're going to mix it with water versus taking a capsule. So many people don't properly digest the capsules. They don't always break loose. So you don't get the full benefit of the capsule.
This is so helpful. It's just good to be reminded, why one over the other, because as you mentioned, there's so many options. They have them in gummies, they have them in capsules, they have them in liquid. Like, why do you want to take one over the other? And you've mentioned many times, like the liquid is immediately absorbed and you get the full benefit of the product. And I don't think I would have thought about that.
Right. It is definitely, and I don't think anything but that. When I decide, oh, I want to incorporate this into my regimen, I immediately look for the liquid. If it doesn't come in one, then I have no choice. But I want the fastest delivery that my system can take. And that way, like you just said, I know that I'm getting 100% of the potency. Taking the capsule, you don't know for sure. What it says it's 300 milligrams, but is your body going to take in 300 milligrams? We don't know, because I think we mentioned this in one of the other sessions. If we're having coffee with some of these things, it races through our blood system and we definitely don't get that full capacity. So taking a liquid, if at all possible, is your best bet.
So helpful. Well, there's a few other things that you sent me that I'd love to touch on just as we're wrapping
Yeah.
up. So one of them is oregano oil.
Oregano oil, wonderful one. I don't use it as often because it's a strong one to me. Everybody's got a different preference. Now, if you're taking a capsule, it's not going to bother you. But again, I like to take the liquid. So it's a strong one. But that across the board, many people swear by that for colds, chest infections, just really a great immune booster. It's very potent, very strong, and it's been known to cut down the severity of any illness.
That's so good. And then the final one that you added, which I thought was interesting, is
Astragalus.
Astra.
Astragalus. I remembered that one now. That's one of my favorite ones. I always used to give that to my kids when they were little, just to keep them healthy. It was kind of a go-to in the wintertime. The only thing you want to be a little bit careful about with astragalus is if you get sick and you're taking astragalus and you spike a fever, 102, you want to back off the astragalus because the way it works in our system, it can hold the fever within the body and not release it. So that one is really one that you would take as a preventative more so than taking when you're sick, only because you're not sure, do I have a fever? Don't I have a fever? Is it too high to take astragalus? So that would be one. And I didn't mention echinacea, which was forever like the go-to that everybody always took. And that is a really good one. The only reason I don't suggest it is because so many people have the tendency to overdo things, and echinacea has to be taken in periods of time. You have to go off of it or it starts working against your immune system, the same as the zinc does if you take it past 100 milligrams. Great, great herb, but it has to be done in cycles.
Well, this has been so helpful. I feel like you've really brought some attention to things that we might have heard in passing, or maybe our parents used to use, or an aunt or grandma, or maybe we knew nothing about. I love that you send me all the links in advance so that we can share these with everyone. If you have questions and you want to talk to Sharon, You can leave a comment here and we'll be checking these. We can get back to you, a specific health question, or you can reach out to her directly. I feel like having somebody in your corner that really understands how to use nature to heal is so instrumental in so many journeys. And I love that we're having these sessions, Sharon.
I do too. It feels really good. And hopefully, somebody can look at something that we've mentioned today and think, yeah, I'd like to add one of those. And my best one I would love to see people add in is that Camus. If I had to buy stock in a company, it would be one of the, with something with Camus, because I think if more people took it, they would be in great shape, because we all know that vitamin C is good for us. So,
Mhm.
wound healing, eyes, heart, everything. So it's across the board. It's such a simple addition. That would be my favorite pick for the day.
All right. Well, I'm going to go buy that now with the link
Okay,
below. And then maybe we'll tackle microbiome next time.
sure. Microbiome is good.
All right. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully, you'll keep listening, reaching out to us, sharing some of the things that are working, some of the things you're trying. And we look forward to seeing you here next time. Thanks,
Thanks.
Sharon.
Thank you. Bye bye.